I hope your weekend is off to a great start. Let's take a look at the BrickLink Designer Program Series 5 today on Brickscale Studio. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me today as we take a look at the BrickLink Designer Program Series 5. So again, we normally would have a Batmobile episode today, but we are still waiting for parts. So we're going to take a look at the BrickLink Designer Program Series 5 sets. And before we do that, let's kind of explain, in case you're not familiar with the BrickLink Designer Program. We'll go into a little explanation about that, and then we'll get into the sets. Okay, so what is the BrickLink Designer Program? So basically, from their website, let's see, it says that it is a fresh opportunity for LEGO fans to continue submitting digital designs to be realized as a BrickLink Designer Program set. All approved designs will have the opportunity to be crowdfunded with pre-orders. So what does this mean? You may be familiar with the LEGO Ideas sets, which sounds very similar. Fan designers design sets, they're submitted, people vote on them, and the ones that get the highest vote go for review, and if they're approved, they become a LEGO set. Well, the primary difference, and I'm not going to go into a super detailed analysis here, but basically the main differences are that the LEGO Ideas sets can be submitted in either a digital format, so they've used like BrickLink Studio or some other computer program to create the design, or they can actually build it out of LEGO bricks and take photographs and submit those. So also LEGO Ideas sets can include intellectual property. So they can include, as current Ideas sets that are available right now on the LEGO website, the Twilight House, the Home Alone house, the Pixar lamp, the Hocus Pocus cottage. So that's one difference. And with the BrickLink Designer Program, they have to be original designs, so no intellectual IP. They also cannot be based on any LEGO intellectual IP, so you can't do Ninjago, like design a Ninjago set or a Star Wars set or something like that that LEGO is already doing. And also, for the BrickLink Designer Program, all submissions must be submitted as a BrickLink Studio file, and then the final sort of photograph of the set must be a render from BrickLink Studio. Now, they do say you can submit, like you can actually build the set physically and submit photographs as supplemental material, but the original designs must be submitted in a BrickLink Studio file. So those are kind of the differences. Also, and if you see me glancing, I'm referring to notes. Right, so the BrickLink Designer Program, unlike the Ideas sets, they're limited to, if they meet, they jump through all the hoops and they meet that final criteria and they are going to production, they only produce 30,000 sets. So that's it. Unlike an Ideas set, which they can produce as many as they want, like, for example, I mentioned the Home Alone house. They released that set back in November of 2021, and it's still available in June of 2025. So there's no limit on those. But for the BrickLink Designer Program, there is a limit to 30,000. So what happens once a designer submits their design? Then it goes through a review process. Again, fans are given the opportunity to vote on it, and then the internal BrickLink Designer people will also review it and take into account the voting and all of that. And if it is selected, then it goes to the pre-order or crowdfunding stage. And so basically what that means is, usually for each series, well, not usually, for each series they choose 5 sets. And so once those sets are announced, then they announce a pre-order period. And their website says that lasts 3 to 4 weeks. But it's sort of like it lasts 3 to 4 weeks or until the sets sell out. So it's one or the other. So not all of the sets sell out, but a lot of times they do. And so as part of this pre-order process, or crowdfunding as they call it, a set must have pre-order sales of at least 3,000 to become what they say funded. So once it reaches that 3,000 threshold, then the set is considered funded and will be produced. So at minimum, they will produce 3,000 sets, and at maximum, they will produce 30,000 sets. So again, like I said, for the LEGO Ideas sets, they produce those infinitely, as much as they want. But for these BrickLink Designer Program sets, they have a limit of 30,000. So just to give you an example, in Series 1, only 3 of the 5 sets sold out. So for 3 of those sets, they produced 30,000 of them and they were done. But for the other 2, they met the 3,000 pre-order threshold, so they got made, but they did not sell out. However, they're no longer available. So it's a very limited time. So let's say one of the ones that did not sell out, let's say they only sold 15,000. Well, once that pre-order period ends, that's it. If they sold 15,000, they're making 15,000. When they're gone, they're gone. Once that period ends, there's no more. So even though they didn't sell out, you still cannot get them if you did not pre-order one when it was available. So just keep that in mind. So if you go on their website and you look at their past series, and you'll see some that are marked as sold out, some are marked as funded. Even though it's not sold out, if it's a past series, they're not available from BrickLink. If you want one, you have to go to the secondary market and you're going to pay way more than they originally sold for. So just keep that in mind. So if you're interested in something, definitely do the pre-order, because once that 3-week to 4-week window, or it might even sell out like on the first day. So once they're gone, they're gone. So if you are interested, do it now. Do not wait. What happens is when you order something from the LEGO website, basically the sets are already manufactured and ready to go. But for this BrickLink Designer Program, you're doing a pre-order and the sets are not made yet. So the time between your pre-order and when you actually get the set could be as long as 6 months. Now I ordered a set from Series 1, the general store, and I ordered that in February of 2024, and it was supposed to arrive in August of 2024, but I actually got it sooner. I got it in July. So I don't know if that's been the case in subsequent series, but for that one, I did receive it a month early. So it may not take the full 6 months. But also the other thing to keep in mind is you are pre-ordering, you're not prepaying. So what happens is you make your pre-order and they will temporarily put a hold on your card for the full amount. Kind of like, when you go to a restaurant and, you leave a tip or whatever, and if you look at your account, there'll be an amount that's held on your card, and it says amount may vary waiting on merchant or whatever. And then after 3 to 5 days, it finalizes. So basically, it's a charge like that. You'll see a temporary charge on your card, but then after 3 to 5 days, it goes away. You don't actually pay until the set ships. So even though you prepay for Series 5 in June, you won't actually be charged until they ship, potentially in December or sooner or whatever. Now, having said that, they will send you emails when it is getting ready to ship. So they'll send you an email and say, hey, your pre-order is getting ready to ship. Here's the information you submitted. Do you need to do you have enough money on your card? Do you need to change the card? Is the card expired? Do you need to change the shipping address, et cetera, et cetera? So you will have an opportunity and be reminded between the time you pre-order and the time it ships. You will pre-order this directly from the BrickLink Designer Program website, not from shop.lego.com. even though BrickLink is owned by Lego. And the other sort of weird thing is once you do order it, your BrickLink Designer Program order will show up on your account on shop.lego.com in your order history. But you don't order it there. You order it on the BrickLink website. But the good news is you do receive, if you pre-order a BrickLink Designer Program set, you do receive insider points for the set, so that's very cool. However, you will not receive any gift with purchases. So bear that in mind. All right, so with all of that out of the way, let's take a look at the 5 sets that are part of Series 5, which today, when this video airs, it is Saturday, June 7th. These will be available for pre-order starting Tuesday, June 10th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Not to create a hype or hysteria, some of these sets in these series are very popular and they will sell out very quickly. So again, if you are interested, you should mark the calendar and, you know, be ready to pre-order when the pre-orders open, because if you wait and it's a popular set that you're interested in, it may sell out. And like I said, once they're gone, they are gone. And then also too, you know, like I said, even if they don't sell out, once that period ends, they're gone. So they don't leave them up until they sell out, until they reach that 30,000. It's, you know, 30,000 or the 3 to 4 week window, whichever comes first. So just bear that in mind. So let's take a look at these 5 sets. There's always a very good, interesting sort of mix of sets. All right, so the first one is called the Thieves of Tortuga. And if you go to their website, there is a full description of it, and then there's also a video. And the videos are about anywhere from 1 to 1.5 minutes, sometimes 2 minutes, from the designer themselves. They kind of explain the set and all that stuff. So this first one is 6 different structures, 4,002 parts. 637 of those parts are unique to this set. There are 13 minifigures and 7 stickers. And it will retail for $339. The next one we have is Mushroom Village. This one has 2,436 parts. 839 of those are unique to this set. And this says, hidden among the leaves and flowers lies the mushroom village where little forest elves have found themselves a home. So very cool. There's an exterior and an interior. And this one will retail for $209.99. The next one we have is the Antique Shop. This one has 1,918 parts. 585 of them are unique to this set. It includes 6 minifigures and 10 stickers. This says, welcome to the Antique Shop, nestled in the heart of a small town. This charming antique shop is sure to have exactly what you're looking for. So it has a fully accessible interior and removable second floor. Both the front and back roof panels are removable. That comes with a shopkeeper's pickup that fits 1 minifigure and has a functional tailgate. So it looks like a very charming set. And it will retail for $149.99. Then we have the Adventure in Transylvania. This has 4,056 parts. 725 of them are unique to this set. And this is the biggest set in the series. It includes 14 minifigures and 11 stickers. Let's see here. This one, not a lot of details about it. There is a video that is available, though. For example, it says Adventure in Transylvania is a project I've been planning for at least 2 years. Initially, it had nothing to do with the BrickLink Designer Program. I simply wanted to build a dark vampire castle. But this one, from what I have heard on the interwebs, from other YouTubers and different blogs and that kind of thing, this set has a lot of interest. So I imagine this is one that's going to sell out fairly quickly. People are super interested. Sort of as a side note, I mean, even though this is sort of a vampire castle, castles seem to do very well in the BrickLink Designer Program. Usually in every series there is a castle or some sort of medieval set, and they are the ones that typically tend to sell out. But anyway, back to Adventure in Transylvania. This one will retail for $349.99. And then our last set is this cute little Popcorn Wagon. It is the smallest set of the group. It contains 594 pieces. 232 are unique to this set. 3 minifigures and 3 stickers. Let's see. This model was inspired by colorful popcorn carts seen in amusement parks. The aim of the project was to design a smaller model that would fit a variety of city setups, including parks, city squares, and beaches. A bit of rework, and it can also turn into a great Winter Village edition. And this one will retail for $54.99. Those are the 5 sets for Series 5. Again, those pre-orders start Tuesday, June 10th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comments what sets you're interested in. I am definitely, like everybody else, I am super interested in that Adventures in Transylvania set. Also, there is a limit of 2 sets per pre-order, so if you wanted to buy 5 popcorn wagons, you're only limited to 2, sorry. But all of them, I will say, are pretty fairly priced if you go by that 10-cent per piece threshold. They all fall within that. Some, like the Popcorn Wagon, is like right at 10 cents. Some of them are a little more generous. I believe for that Transylvania Adventure in Transylvania, and that one's coming in at about 8.5, 9 cents a piece. So pretty good, actually. And 14 minifigures. That's pretty good. And over 4,000 parts. So definitely a big set. And like I said, that one is, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about it, so I think it's going to be one of the ones that sells out. I would also imagine that the Thieves of Tortuga is going to sell out, and probably the Popcorn Wagon. Typically, the small set, there's usually always sort of this one big one, and this one is the Adventures in Transylvania, obviously, with 4,000 pieces. And then there's usually a smaller $50, $60 set, and in this series, it is the Popcorn Wagon. So those smaller ones usually are almost guaranteed to sell out. I know in Series 5, also, I'm not sure if you hear that, we are having a thunderstorm right now, and it is thundering like crazy outside. So I'm not sure if you hear that, but I definitely heard that. And if I jumped a little, that is why. But then in Series 2, they had a small mushroom house, way smaller than the one that's in the current series, but it sold out. And then they had a train station that sold out as well. And then Series 6, they have listed the sets that are available so far. So I will show you those really quick. These are the sets that are going to be in Series 6, and these do not start for pre-ordering until October. So you have several months there. So they will start pre-order in October. And then for Series 7, they have also chosen the sets there. So I will show you those. Those are not available for pre-order until February of 2026. And then Series 8, let's see, the voting window has closed for Series 8. They have not chosen the final sets yet. It says to come back on June 14th. So June 14th, they will release what 5 sets have been chosen. And then those probably won't be available to order until May or June of next year. Series 9, the deadline to submit your idea if you want to try to have one of your sets created in this program, you have until September of 2025 to submit your design for Series 9, and you have until January of 2026 to submit your design for Series 10. So I will put a link to the BrickLink Designer Program website in the description box so you can check all those deadlines out, check out. I didn't share all the pictures with you for the Series 5 sets. There's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 pictures for each set, so I didn't share them all. So definitely if you want to check those out, again, I'll put the link down below. And that will do it for today's episode. Hopefully that gives you a little more information, kind of piques your interest. I will say I did order a Series 1 set. I ordered the general store, and I did build that. I will also put a link to the video. I did a video on that back in July or August of last year, so there will be a review of that. I did have some issues with it, so spoiler alert, check out the video. One other thing I will mention, how these sets sort of differ from a regular Lego set. The box art is different. These come in white boxes, and then they also do not include a paper instruction manual. You get a little card with a QR code for a PDF version that you can use your laptop or iPad or whatever you want to use, but they do not come with printed instructions, so just keep that in mind. All right, so really quick, before I let you go, stay tuned next week. We have another Optimus Prime video coming up on Tuesday, a Titanic video on Thursday, and then Saturday the 14th, we'll be taking a look at the buildable 101 Dalmatians puppy. So that I'm very excited for that. So stay tuned for those episodes. And remember to like, share, subscribe, do all the things. And remember to comment down below. Are you interested in any of these sets? If so, which one are you ordering? I'm definitely ordering the Adventures in Transylvania set. And so until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I will see you soon.